Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode. So, these are our targets for today. Of course, we've got to reach Q3, finish position at least 15th, and then obviously the hot streak of 15 as well. None of these are going to happen, unfortunately, I don't think. Maybe 15th if we push it. I don't see it happening. If you haven't seen the previous episodes yet, go check them out before you watch this one, just to keep up to date. I'm trying to keep the episodes as short as I possibly can, but it requires a lot of fucking time to go into these. I'm literally cutting down my first episode. I don't know how long it's going to be because I've not edited it yet, but it was about 2.5 to 3 hours of footage, which is mental. So I'm not exactly sure how long these episodes are going to be. But today we are back with F1 2022 Manager, and we're now going to the Australia circuit. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. I've had a look at the upgrading stuff and I've changed them slightly. We've still got the same current project, but I've added more engineers to this one to get it down from 56 days to 42. Added an extra, I think, 3 engineers to it. So that will be done a little bit sooner. I looked at this one as well, but we're only going to remove 1 day if we add an extra engineer, which I don't know, it didn't seem viable, but then again, it'd be the first thing done. You know what? I'll do it. Why not? It doesn't cost any extra money, and it adds the extra engineer on. So it's going to be an extra day, which is very, very good. This is not going to be rushed. This is just a standard one. That's why it's taking so long, and that one's rushed. That's the reason why. So it costs us a little bit extra money, but I was alright with it. And of course, we've got these currently going as well. So that's fine. There's nothing else we can do. I've had a look at everything, and there is just nothing that I can really upgrade at the moment. Scratch that, I can actually upgrade the design center. It's going to cost us 8 million to upgrade it, but upgrading a facility improves its grade condition and effects received from it and boosts effectiveness back to 100%. So with this, we can actually design... We can still design 2 parts, it's the exact same for that, but then we can also get 10 engineers instead of 6. So I feel like that might be worth it. I mean, that increases by a lot. How long is that going to take? It's going to cost 10 million with 63 days. That's a lot. But we're getting a lot per race as well, so it might be worth upgrading the wind tunnel, I think. Yep, I'm going to upgrade the wind tunnel. And I'm going to leave that at the moment. I don't want to spend too much. I've still got 15 million in the bank. That's pretty darn good. Of course, we've got these different areas as well we can upgrade. I'm going to have a look through all this actually and see if there's anything I can upgrade. So our weekly income is going to increase by 4,500 if we upgrade our tour center, which would be really good. That's 4,500. It's about 22,000. 4, 8, 12, 16. No, about 20, 18 and 20,000. It's going to upgrade. Something like that. I don't know. It's going to upgrade it. It's going to give us a decent boost. It's only going to cost an extra 1,000 per month. So I feel like that's probably going to be good for the long run. And of course, I'm in it for the long run. So let's go for an upgrade on that as well. So we've got 3 things upgrading currently. I would like to upgrade more, but I don't want to waste all of our budget. I've had a look at the engineering and stuff as well. I'm going to keep them on. They're all in long contracts. They've got decent overall rating as well. And of course they can be upgraded as well, which is very, very nice. If we have a look at this. So grid average compared to us, we are seriously behind on a lot of things. There's not much we can do though, that's the issue. I'm upgrading everything that I can as quick as I can, but we are very, very restricted. I might actually just upgrade, because we've now got 17 million in the bank. I think I'm going to upgrade our development, get that up to 8 million. It's going to cost 8 million, but we can get an extra 4 engineers on it. We need to just keep pushing and trying to upgrade as much as we can. And our upgrades aren't going to take too long. Race Simulator is 4 days, Tour is 5, Wind Tunnel 52, and Design is 63. So Wind Tunnel and Design are going to take a long time, but our Race Simulator is the thing that we need the most to get our drivers up to speed. We need to try and get our drivers up to speed as quick as possible. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go to the race weekend.
Welcome to Melbourne for a weekend of fierce competition. We're a stone's throw from the beach here at the Albert Park Circuit. It might be party mood in the grandstands, but in the paddock, expectations and tensions are high. The Albert Park circuit is bursting with rapid corners and a long straight where drivers can push their speed to the limits. Good attention to medium speed downforce will likely make beating this beast of a track just a little bit easier. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
Alright, so we're now on to the first practice. And of course, just a reminder, these are our current targets, which is not ideal, but it's what we've got. But we're going to go into the first practice session, and of course we're going to do the same as we've been doing before. We're going to give Jack the chance to drive in the first round. I'd say that's all pretty good. It's all sitting in the optimal setup range, and hopefully it means then we'll get a better setup confidence by the end of the 3 practice rounds. So that's the first one. We're going to look at the second one as well now, like so. So that's looking pretty decent, and it means then we can sort of fiddle around after the first practice round, get all 3 practices in, and hope for the best. Of course, we're going to do the same as we've been doing before. We're just going to simulate this one session, get the 3 practices done by itself. It means we don't have to do them ourselves. Now, based on that performance, we got 18th and 20th. That's actually pretty good from Theo. If Ocon was in there, he probably would have got 17th or 16th, I believe. But that is pretty darn good. Now, setup confidence is actually quite high, which is a surprise. I'm happy enough with that. And of course, Theo got good performance boost from that as well. He got 11 out of 15 on the first practice, so hopefully he can get all 15. I don't want to change them too much because I don't want them to go way off. Because I know I need to try and get optimal level, but I don't want to change it too much. Maybe like a little bit like that. Keep everything close to great so we can try and get that optimal. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the best. Traction's the only thing that we really need to work on here. If we can get everything else set up good, we'll be fine. And we're going to go for setup for here, 77%, which is very good. We've got good, good, great, great, good. So that's very, very spicy indeed. And I feel like this is probably the best that we're going to get. So great is really close to the great. Hopefully we can get optimal. And I've changed all the goods slightly, just hoping that we can get that optimal or great performance from it. That is the current hope. So after practice 2, we're currently 17th and 19th. There you go. That's pretty darn good. And it was very, very close between 18, 19 and 20. Very close. If we can get that proper setup, I feel like we are sorted. Now, they both went up very slightly, but not by much. Right, so we got them all into the optimal setup range. They're all in there now. So I'm hoping that this will be good enough for the next race. I mean, we got good and they were outside of optimal, which is fine. Hopefully we can get his set up to at least an 85. I'm hoping 90 at the very best. Now he's at 81. We have an optimal, we have 2 goods and 2 greats. This is very ideal. I feel like maybe just that will help. Just even that one tick, I feel it might help. Because there are already 2 goods that are now in the optimal range, a little bit further away. Hopefully that will do. Now we're going to go into the final practice of the session. After practice 3 we got 17 and 19 once again. This time it was a flip, but it's still very, very close between 18 and 19. I feel like we could easily get past that. And track optimization, parts knowledge, very good. We've got setup confidence up higher than what it was before. After that we've got 2 goods, 3 greats. That is perfect right there. That's what we need. 85%, let's see how they did. Great, good, great, great, optimal. Perfect. We got an optimal in there on the straights. There's quite a few straights on this. Cornering was great. Only thing was braking stability. That's fine. Happy fucking days. We've got good setups for both drivers now. 18th and 19th. Not ideal. Again, very, very close though. This is what we wanted. So, we're much further ahead than Vettel. I say much, we're not very far off, but it's still very close. Theo was literally 1,000th of a second away from Lance Stroll. That is all we needed. And that little bit right there. We're now going to continue the race
The
and see
time
how we
has
do.
come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Williams had a good performance in qualifying. Now they'll be eager to demonstrate that they can have an even better race. Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them.
Right. In this episode, I think I'm going to do 2 races because the races are quite quick. I simulate a lot of things and I do 16 times speed, so I might do 2 races for this one, just so we can get a little bit more out of each episode, so we can try and get through the season quicker. So after the qualifying, we didn't do the greatest, but we didn't do too bad, I feel. I mean, that isn't bad at all. Considering we were landing bottom, that is very close. All we need to do is push ahead of Aston Martin. If we can get ahead of Aston Martin on the constructors, then we will meet our target. We need at least 9th for the constructors. All we need is one good race, even if we can just get a point, and we will be ahead of most teams who are on the bottom. That's all we need. So we just need one good race, and hopefully we'll be there. Now for the setups, we've got medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, and hard, medium. Now I'm going to do different ones obviously for each one. Because Theo was the faster of the 2, even though he's the worst of the drivers, I feel like, to be fair, they're both estimated same race time. But I'm going to have him on mediums first and then go into hards. Let him try and push up a little bit, see how he can do. So we're going to go for that. And our optimal is lap 23. That's what we've got to do. That's fine. Albon, on the other hand, we're going to put him on C. We're going to have him starting on the slower tyre onto the faster tyres near the end of the race. Hopefully he can push up a little bit near the end. This is the hope. So we're going to start the race for the Australian Grand Prix.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid.
I hope
Here's
there's no fucking rain.
They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish.
We're not getting
Brace
podium
yourself
finish.
for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
For the Australian Grand Prix. You forgot to say that, my pal. Right. So we're now under the way for the Australian Grand Prix, and we're going to see how well we can do. Of course, I won't be talking for this portion as I have been for literally the rest of the races. It's just going to be a simulation, let you guys see the race, what I'm doing, all that sort of stuff. You can just view it, and
Aston
I'll see you guys
Martin
after
with
the
a
race.
Great play there. They've moved up a place.
You will have DRS.
Sounds like there's been contact.
Okay, there's a big crash.
Three crashes already, jeez. We're only 5 laps into the race.
Is that a lockup? Sounds like we've had a spin. Sounds like someone's locked up.
So it's a good first half to the race, currently sitting 11th and 15th. I don't see us keeping this up throughout the whole race because we've still got to pit and a few cars have already pitted who are behind us, but we can hope for the best here. Let's hope for a good finish.
Alpha Tauri gained a place.
And box.
And a new position, just gained by Williams. Alfa Romeo just moved up a place. Oh, we've had a spin. And McLaren with a great overtake.
We'll be boxing.
Yes, the key box.
Safety car. You just have to follow your delta. And you'll be safe.
I think that was a crash.
Alright, we've got a safety car. This actually could work in our favour. It'll close everybody up a little bit more. And hopefully then Albon can push up. I don't see Theo getting much out of it, but I feel like Albon could. He's definitely been having a good race. So hopefully he can push up. That is the hope. I mean, he was up in the top 10 for quite a while, and then he was fluctuating between 10th and 12th for quite a while. Currently 15th. If we can get that a little bit on Bottas, we might be able to push even higher up the field. But we just got to wait and see, hope for the best.
The safety car will be in this lap. Yes.
DRS is enabled.
Okay, max saving, max fuel saving. Yep, copy.
Reduce the lift and core.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Use the rest.
Yeah. Deploy. Yes, okay. We're happy to push. Yeah, okay.
So heads down, focus.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Check the DRS. Copy.
So watch DRS.
Seems to have been a lockup.
That is a much better finish right there.
What
So
a pleasure it
15th and
was to watch Alex
17th.
Albon on the track.
Very,
And
very
an
nice. We
amazing
almost got
result for
14th
that.
as well. So that gives us a little bonus for hitting 15th. A little bit extra cash coming in, which is very, very nice. But overall, I'd say that was a pretty darn good race, especially from Albon. Theo did well, got 17th. Of course, there was a knockout, so it would have technically been 16th and 18th. But because of that knockout, we were able to push for 15, 17. And Albon just behind Lando Norris. He pushed so much with that car. And of course, a lot of cars around us pitted twice, where we only pitted once during that race. That definitely helped. I tried so hard to push the cars as much as possible. I was getting them to push the to increase tire wear. I was getting them to use all the fuel that they had. I was getting them to use the DRS. I was pushing the cars as much as we possibly could, and it almost, well, it did pay off, but it almost paid off even more. So we beat Vettel, just not by much, but we did beat him. But we got very, very close to Lando Norris with 0.297 seconds, and there was actually time they were fighting each other, they were pushing, and they almost caught Lando Norris, so that was very, very close. Theo was very close to catching Sebastian Vettel, which was very, very nice. But of course, Lance Stroll 19th, Vettel 16th, which should then mean we're now in 9th place. We're now on target. We were able to overtake and we were able to push. That was a very, very good race indeed. On the driver standings, Albon has went up 2 places. He's now in 16th. Theo is still in 19th, ahead of Lance Stroll though, which is very, very good. Vettel currently in 18th, and that's the reason why we are now in 9th. So we just need to keep pushing the car, keep developing as much as we can, and we should be okay. XP again, we got a nice 1,000 there. Development point on Albon as well, which is very nice, and also on Jack Aitken. I'm not too concerned about him, but it's more that I want him to just get enough races so he's happy. So of course our sponsors, we got all of this. We didn't get the finish position apparently. I thought it was 15th, but apparently we didn't get it. But we still got 3.5 million in the bank, nearly 3.6 actually, so it's very, very nice. Now after that we can now upgrade Albon, and we've got 1 point we can put in somewhere. And I'm looking at what we've got and what was happening in that race, and I feel like defending, it being the lowest stat, of course cornering's up there as well, and so accuracy, but defending was one of our biggest issues. We were able to take the places, but we couldn't keep them, so I'm going to upgrade that right there. And there we go, we've now got an extra point into defending, which is what we need. The next circuit that we're going to is Emilia, and we'll be doing that today as well, because, you know, it's 2 races now. We've got our performance targets. These are our current performance targets. We need to try and get that 4 streak. Apparently we didn't get 15th. I think it's because one driver, like because he was knocked out, it didn't count as us hitting at least 15th, and that's the issue. And of course our facilities will be upgrading, 1 day for the race simulator, which will give us extra XP for our drivers, which means then Theo can upgrade even more. So as you can see, this decreases our engine cooling by quite a bit, to be fair, but it also increases a lot of other parts that we need to upgrade, especially for the next race. Our next race is in 10 days, so if I can get 2 of these underway, and it's going to cost a lot. If we do rushed, it's going to cost an extra 75k. Cost an extra 75k, but we'll get them. We should get them both before the next race, because it's 10 days from now. So we'll go for that. Confirm. It's a big focus, but I need a lot here. Nearly 2% on low speeds, 1.5 on medium, but 1.5 on high speed. So that's definitely worth it, I feel. Now, we can pay the extra and we can get it sooner. Yeah, let's go for it. I don't want to lose the expertise gain, because it decreases how much more we can add on. Here we go. So this is now upgraded, so our engine cooling comes down, which is not ideal, but it gives us better performance on the field. So we're going to install it on car 1 and then also car 2. And that is us now ready. So we've got a nice big bonus, as you can see. A lot of stats went up quite a bit, which is what we want.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
So we've got 18th and 20th. I mean, Jack, he's expected. He's not a very good driver, but it's fine. Car parts knowledge 87%, because obviously we put the new part on. Setup confidence is very, very low for Jack's car, but it's quite high already. For Theo, that's a very good start indeed. The setups didn't seem to be as good, I don't feel. Getting 1920 is not ideal. I mean, it's better than what it was. 76, I think it was 71, and that was 34 to 61, not bad. 18 and 20, not too bad, and it was very, very close between 19 and 20. Let's see how they did. 71, 86, that's pretty decent. 71, not great, but that 86 is definitely a bonus right there. Nah, 18 and 20, not ideal. Not ideal at all. But we're now on to the race.
Here as race day.
So, let's see how we did. Qualifying position we didn't get. For 255,000, it's going to cost us a little bit, but if we can get 19 and 17, I believe that is possible, and that's a good 250k if we get it. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. It's not much of a loss, but we get a massive gain if we get it. Right, and we're going to start the race
As the
at the
sun
Imola
continues
Grand
to shine,
Prix.
it seems like nothing can dampen the mood of excitement here at the track. Here we have Alexander Albon. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And we are underway for the Imola Grand Prix. Again, as always, it's going to go in sim. I'll go silent, and then you guys can just see how we end up doing. I'll chime in every now and then if something happens that I feel is worth pointing out. By the way, I've done this track in F1 so many times, and I
And a new
absolutely love
position,
it.
just gained
Absolutely
by
love it.
Williams.
Stay firm on DRS. And we think you can reduce lift and coast. Copy.
did someone run wide there? I think there's been a lock-up. Looks like there's been a lock-up.
I'm not going to bother at pit because we've still got a long way to go before we get to the pit window. And I don't feel like with us being on lap 15, anyone's going to be able to make it to the end of the race on the tyres that they can currently change to. I don't feel like it's going to be possible unless we get Theo or Albon to change to hards now, but it's going to wear on performance near the end. It's just not worth it, I feel. So we're going to leave them on what they are currently on.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed.
VSC is ending. DRS enabled.
Albon is currently struggling.
Is that a
He
new
was
race
getting
position for
he was
Haas?
getting caught by Magnussen so much there, and you can see he's falling behind so much. This is going to be a massive struggle, and you can see Tsunoda's catching us as well. This is going to be a massive struggle for us, I think. We are struggling. Of course, Vettel is 43 seconds behind. I don't see him catching Theo, hopefully. But it's like Tsunoda's on us right now. It's going to be a massive struggle to stay ahead. We're going to drop into 17th, I believe.
Box this lap. Okay, box.
Was that a lock-up on the track? We've just had a car run wide. And there's an overtake from Williams. Here's the replay. Now we see the Williams here. And there they go, moving up a position in the pack. The team watching on and clearly loving that. That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
So compared to last race, we are now struggling quite significantly. We are struggling quite significantly right now. We're currently 18th and 19th, and we're not gaining much. All we've really got is people ahead of us, I think, still need to pit. That's all we've got in the bag. Albon is nowhere near our teammate Theo, and Theo's 2.5 seconds. No, it's not 2.5 seconds. He's half a second behind Stroll. So it's a fight right now for that position, but we're not gonna get much out of this race. I believe it's gonna be a massive struggle. I think once Theo gets onto softs, he might be able to make up some speed, some positions, but it's gonna be a massive struggle. I think even on the mediums, Albon was struggling. Now he's on hards. It's gonna be a tough race.
And a new position, just gained by Williams. We can take a look now. Now we see the Williams here.
Go in, go in.
Yeah, we're currently 21 seconds behind Tsunoda, Albon is, and our teammate's 13 seconds behind our teammate, with Stroll right on his butt right now. So this is going to be a struggle of a race. We just need to try and keep pushing and hope that somebody needs to pit, or hope that there's some sort of incident that means that we can get closer, or just something. We're not gaining any time here, we're actually losing a lot of time. So I don't see us getting much better than what we've got. All I can see is it getting worse.
I think we've had a car run wide.
This is the final lap. Okay.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
And go, push. Yep, copy.
Alright, so we did it. That's the race over. I don't think we got much really. We'll have a wee look. We got 17th and 19th. I mean, that's not too bad. They both gained one position. With obviously Vettel having issues at the start. We were 2 laps behind, which meant that we lost a lot of time. I think we might have been able to push a little bit, but not much. Tsunoda was too far ahead of us, so there was nothing there. All that we could have done was Theo maybe taking Stroll, but it's not the worst. Not the worst finish. After the last race, I was hopeful because we did do quite well, but this race just wasn't ours. Albon has been overtaken by Schumacher on the driver standings, with Theo currently retaining his position. Of course, we've got Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz winning today's race. We've got Perez, Verstappen, then Hamilton, Russell. Bottas at Alfa Romeo. We've got Fernando Alonso, Gasly and Ocon all achieving top 10. Or top 10 in the drivers' standings. Pierre Gasly didn't get any points today, because as you can see, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and I can't say that name, Zhu, Guanyanu? I'm just calling him Zhu. They all achieved top 10 today. They all got points, which was pretty decent, but you can see how far ahead everybody was in the top 10. Even 9th and 10th were lapped. So the top 8 were the ones really fighting it out. with there's still been massive gaps between everybody. Nobody could catch anyone. And the constructors, we're still in 9th, which is our objective, which is fantastic. I'm happy with that. Gained a development point on Theo today, and of course nothing else anywhere else, but that was pretty good. Qualifying, he only got 25 because he only did the first qualifying, didn't reach anything else unfortunately. Race, he got a decent bit because of the successful defend, and also the successful overtake. Those were the main things right there. We actually completed a sponsor thing as well. We completed the position gain. So the one that I actually risked it on, we actually managed to get another $250,000 right there, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. So our overall take for today was nearly 4 million thanks to that. That's because the drivers managed to gain 1 position each compared to their grid start. So I think I might go for that if we can put that as a guarantee, because I think it's worth it. Just overall, $250,000, we only lose 60,000. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, reactions, of course, was the issue for Theo. Again, it's the lowest, so I'm going to focus on upgrading that again. And, of course, our driver gained another point, and I'm going to put it into reactions again, just to give him that extra boost. He needs to get his reactions up. It's the main thing, I feel like, is slowing him down a bit. He messes up on corners quite a bit. He locks up, this sort of thing, so we need to try and get him a little bit higher up. But he's still got a lot of potential in him, which is what we want. So we will now, I think we'll just end that there because that was the 2 races. So thank you very much everybody for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like below, subscribe, and also leave a comment as well. I'm looking for new drivers, and if you know any drivers you want me to hire up, please let me know, because of course we can't keep Albon forever. He's only got 7 months on his contract. I would like to keep him at least for another season, so I'm thinking of maybe doing that, but I'm not 100% yet. But if you've got any driver ideas, let me know, and we'll have a look at it, see if we can maybe get them at some point. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now. I'm sorry, what?